Good Tuesday morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Well, we have severe weather headed our way. Today, everything will lie to the west. We're going to show you maps here in just a moment. But severe weather tomorrow. A level 4 storm, which includes Lauderdale County, points west and south of here. This is going to be our worst weather event that we've had since January the 1st of this year. Tornadoes could be strong and are likely throughout the area. Our timeline is going to be somewhere between 1 to 7 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. This will be a daytime event at this point. Now, as always, there's a little bit of change with weather as it comes about. This could expand and go further northward. At this point, Kemper County and Neshoba County are level 3. That could change and encompass more of them as the storm approaches. We'll give you the maps here in just a moment and show you everything about this. But this is an event that you do not need to blow off and think nothing's going to happen. When we reach a level 4, it's very serious. We'll show you all the maps in just a moment. That's up and coming. We'll be ready for the morning show beginning at 7. I hope you'll be here as we'll go all local and tell you things that have gone on in the area. That's on the way. Right now, let's go to Collinsville. Let's get our good word, our good faith message of the day from Collinsville Baptist.
Take a look at this. If I ask you what this is, what would you say? Obviously, it's a duck. How do you know? Well, it has a bill, feathers, webbed feet, right? All the characteristics are there. Now, if I told you to look at me and I ask you, hey, am I a Christian? I mean, there's no way for you to know. We can't know whether someone follows Jesus purely on physical characteristics. So how do we know? We have to see some action, right? Scripture tells us that we will know them by their fruit, by their lives, by the way they live. Perhaps the easiest way to see whether someone is a believer or not is to look at how they treat others, specifically their brothers and sisters in Christ. 1 John 3 tells us that we know that we have passed from death to life when we love our brothers and sisters. So that's the question I have for you. How well do you love? How well do you care for those in your faith family? Certainly, we should treat everyone we meet with the love of Christ, but the Bible teaches that there is a special kind of love for those who are a part of the same local body. Certainly, we should love well because of how Christ has loved us. But the flip side is worth noting. If we don't have a trace of love for those around us, it's likely that the love of Christ is not present within us. In fact, 1 John 3 goes on to say that if you hate your brother or sister, you're a murderer. Strong words, but it goes back to what's been true from the beginning. Man looks on the outside, but God looks on the heart. May we love with the love of Christ, and as you'll hear from Pastor Ben tomorrow, actually put this into action, because remember, change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Hope you enjoyed that, as always. More messages, and Brother Ben will be coming in with us, I believe, on Wednesday morning, tomorrow. Be good to hear from him. We're coming up on like 400 episodes with them. It's a big deal. We'll be talking with them tomorrow as he'll join us live for the morning show. Hope you'll be a part of that. The U.S. Army, as we start looking at headlines across America, are going to be holding combat training in the Philippines to hone their skills. In case something were to go wrong, you got to be ready for whatever it is. And if you think getting people to go to work at a hamburger joint is tough, imagine how hard the U.S. government is getting people to enlist to protect our country. It's turned into a nation of ask what your country can do for you and not what you can do for it. I think that is the way it's really going at this point. Walmart is settling and not admitting anything. I think they figured out it was just cheaper to do this, as they were sued for saying that they were weighing prices too much when you bought meat and produce and things on the scales. Let me see what the timeline on this thing was. It was from like 2018. Yeah, it says the purchases occurred between October 19th of 2018 through January 19th of 24. This includes packaged meat, poultry, pork, and seafood, or other bagged citrus products like organic oranges, grapefruit, tangerines, navel oranges. And I don't keep my receipts to you. You have to have that. The settlement entitles claimants to 2% of the total cost of their purchased goods up to $500. It's not big. They're not admitting they've done anything wrong. How many people saved their receipts for a banana? I'm not real sure, but I don't keep up with them. But there are a lot of meticulous people that do, that could go back and go, yep, I had that. I'm just not one of those on something like that. I got too much stuff as it is. A Massachusetts woman We hear more about this road rage thing. Have y'all seen it? People get extremely angry for no reason and quick-tempered quick. A woman had an altercation with somebody. It was road rage. Stopped her car. She got out. They said words. They got back in theirs, went down the road, swung around, come back and ran over her. That's what happened. As you well know, they'll end up going to jail for a very long time. She was 26 years old, lost her life for what? Somebody mad because they cut her off or something like that? Horrible, horrible. Here's one. Truly, I do believe people hear voices. Whether it's drug-induced or it's just something not stable, but they do hear people that talk to them, tell them to do things. Now, their thoughts of who told them to do it are generally wrong, as a woman claims God spoke to her and told her to go to the interstate and shoot windows of cars. That was in Florida. I don't believe you believe any more than I do that he told her to do that. She probably heard some voices, and we don't know the rest of the story of the conditions, but that's bad. Who's the world's oldest person? This is pretty neat. Odie, I'm pulling for you to get there one day.
I'm working on it.
He's 111 years old officially, and the Guinness World Book of Records has given him a certificate. He is 111 years old, lives in London, England. Pretty good there. Looks great to be 111. So maybe it could be you. But I'm really don't know that I want to live to be that long. I don't want others that are close to me to go before me. Is that being selfish? I think I should go before they do. That's my thought. I don't know if I could handle all of that.
Outliving your entire family.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. And boy, I always think of the Green Mile when that pops through my head of him sitting there telling that little elderly woman, "You too, I will attend your funeral." Oh boy, that's scary. Louisiana has been on a roll lately. As we heard last week, they were introducing a bill to where if you don't stand for the national anthem and you get a scholarship, it could be taken away. Well, that's in play. Another one is Louisiana's transgender bathroom bill has cleared its first hurdle. It's going to be you have to attend the bathroom that you were born in. Y'all remember that big thing with the NBA not long ago about bathrooms a few years ago? It'll turn into that, and they'll try to make Louisiana look bad, but, well, that's the way it ought to be. We'll watch Louisiana and see what becomes of that. Also, Louisiana has went ahead and thrown this out there. They've got this bill introduced. It's going to be real similar to Texas, to where if you are in the United States and illegal, you can be arrested. Just seems like that really ought to be the law of the nation, doesn't it? It seems that way. We'll watch that also. Another group that they're finding hard to replace is election workers. They left in droves last time after they were, well, what they're wording as being criticized of the outcome and the way things were handled and counted. Historic numbers, people left those jobs as they try to get those ready for the one coming up in the fall. It's not long off, is it? It's not there. Do y'all remember Lightfoot, Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago? She's making $400 an hour now, contract to investigate America's worst mayors amid embezzlement accusations after she admitted $2 million in the hole taxpayers' funds from small Illinois town. You remember the lady who's accused of this? She spent money on this and that. Sure sounds guilty. I hate to make anybody before they go to court, but boy, there's a lot of evidence there. She's investigating this. She's done so good with Chicago. I really trust her. I'm sure y'all do too.
Investigating.
Yeah. Those are some of the headlines across America this morning. We got lots more that we're going to talk about. Some of these are worth bringing back up. Some, well, they're just there. Does make you worry about where our country is going with a lot of things that go on. But there's always good. Never leave that out there. As we heard from our church there in Collinsville, it's always a silver lining to everything. There's good people in this world. I always believe that. You're one, I'm one. We all stick together. We can overcome things that don't seem so good. Up next, we're going to get into this forecast. And if you've ever listened to us, I want you to be very attentive on what is coming up tomorrow. This is a very bad storm. We want you to be ahead of it, be prepared. Level 4 entering our area tomorrow. All the details of the forecast is next here. Scotty Ray will be right back.
The Preserve at Meridian is the premier senior living community in the Meridian area, offering independent living cottages, assisted living, and maintain their independence and pursue an engaging lifestyle with a robust activities calendar, personalized care programs, wellness activities, restaurant-style dining, and much more. Call or visit us online today at preserveatmeridian.com to schedule your personal tour.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
And welcome back. Let's start with what the storms are going to do today. Let's go to radar and pull this up. This is our severe weather today. Now, the level 1 goes from Vicksburg to Jackson up to the Mississippi Delta. Level 1's not that bad. It means we'll have some storms and some heavy rain there. East of Jackson, Mississippi, from all the way over here, it's not really going to be anything. We do have showers in the forecast, but nothing bad there. Beginning at the city limits of Vicksburg right there, just right there at the bridge, all the way back over into Louisiana. It will pick up here around the Ollie and go across and take in all of these. Converse, also some of these towns I can't pronounce. Lufkin, it goes into Lufkin, Texas. Klein, Temple, Texas, there's going to be a level 3 in these areas here today. Shreveport, south of there, will be bad. Tyler, Texas. All of that's to our west. Beaumont will be under this level 3 today, out to our west. So if you've got to travel anywhere in there, be prepared. Here's what we're worried about. Let me pull this up and go ahead and turn this one off. This is what we have tomorrow. This is a level 4 for our area. As you'll see, nearly to Tupelo. Here's West Point, Starkville, level 3. Portions right in here around Union are going to be, even up to House, will be a level 3 tomorrow. This cuts across and takes in 99% of Lauderdale County. North, that little corner there, north of Ralph Morgan Rodeo Arena, in that northeast corner there, will not be. That's a level 3, but I expect that to change. But look at this. All of this red is a level 4 for tomorrow, meaning that tornadic activity is most likely going to happen somewhere in this red zone. That's really close to us. Hattiesburg, north of Biloxi, all of these areas over to Baton Rouge, Natchez, Mississippi is under this. Again, means tornadic activity is most likely going to happen. So let's pull this up here and look at our timelines of what the National Weather Service is telling us dealing with this. And let's just jump right to this. As we look at tomorrow, here we are. This is what the National Weather Service is telling us. 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. is the timeline for us. Now, this will begin in Scott County around Forest eastward, 1 to 7 p.m. You'll start seeing the Jackson area around 11 o'clock to 4 p.m., and then slowly making its way across the state. And as we look at this, damaging winds of 80 miles an hour tomorrow. Large hail, golf ball size. Strong tornadoes are likely at some point tomorrow. Now, we can never pinpoint exactly where it will be and at what time it will happen, but we've got a timeline in an area. Now, again, that's from Lauderdale County. We go over to Newton County, Scott County, and points west to Vicksburg and due south to nearly Biloxi under this level 4. It stops right there at the state line as we look at that. We want you to take this serious. If you've got to be somewhere tomorrow, let's just block that off and be prepared. Call it from noon on. Be prepared where you need to be for about 7 to 8 hours there at any given point. Now, this time will be narrowed as it gets closer. We'll be able to pinpoint a little bit tighter timeline. We're not there yet, but we're looking at this. And again, 80-mile-an-hour gust included with this, and tornadoes are likely and some possibly very strong. We're not making this up. This is not a hoopla. This is not an eclipse or anything. This is the serious, real deal to where you could be injured, and we don't want that to happen. Along with this, let's look at this. And I expect this to even be a little bit worse as we get into this. Our area, the Meridian area, could see anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of rain. Let's look at this. Here we are. This area here, including Newton, Kemper, Neshoba County, Winston County, all of these areas up toward Columbus, Mississippi State, could see up to 3 to 5. As you look at Yazoo, Vicksburg, these areas could see in this Mississippi, the Delta area over here, 5 to 7 inches of rain. So we're going to have a lot. Anything south of I-20 as we get into Clark County and Jasper County could see somewhere around 2 to 4 inches of rain tomorrow. It's a lot, isn't it? So let's be prepared. have your safe place. If you live in a mobile home, let's try not to be there. If you live in a home that's elevated tomorrow, where wind can get underneath it, I don't suggest being there. Now, at the same breath that I just told you all of that, keep in mind that a tornado can and will destroy a brick home as well. I don't want anybody to have a false sense of security that a brick home is going to withstand a tornado. It is not. Storm shelters do this. Talk to the precast group. They can show you about what you need. Get your generator ready today. We are most likely going to be without power tomorrow, whether it's from wind or damage from a storm of a tornado. Most likely, these types of winds at 80 miles an hour is going to take out the power. So be prepared, be ahead of it, get your gas ready, and again, get the non-ethanol fuel that you use. You don't want this gumming it up and putting in that regular gasoline and letting it sit for months after the storm passes. It'll mess up your generator. So this is where we're beginning. We'll have more of this throughout the day as this gets nearer and all of this gets defined. But one of the most serious things that we've talked about in a while is coming up on us. This is the same stuff that we were seeing north of Nashville last weekend. A lot of bad things happen there. As we look at Alabama, here's this is what we're looking at. They're going to be in as a 2 of 5 there, and this could be updated as well. Let's go back to my map and look at that. I want to make sure that I've got the latest on that, and that is not the latest. Here's the latest. Let's go back to this. As we look at this, Alabama, you are under a level 3 from Tuscaloosa to Dothan, Alabama. And this area right here, look at this. Let's look at York, Alabama. You are under a level 4. Pennington, Lisbon, Butler, Chatham, Alabama, down to Central Nail, just due north of Saraland. If you're watching in those areas there, over to Grove Hill, Jackson, Alabama, Thomasville, Alabama. All of this is a level 4. Everything east of there is a level 3, all the way over to Montgomery. So there's so much to watch and be cautious about of what is coming tomorrow. A very, very serious weather event. Now, the next question I'm sure that's going to be coming out is school canceled or anything like that. I have not been told of any schools that have already said we're going to be letting out. We'll monitor that and get that out as soon as we start getting information, should anybody do that. Should your business decide to close early tomorrow, let us know. We'll be making a closure list beginning today of anything that closes tomorrow in preparation for what's coming. So let us know, and we'll be on top of that to pass along information as well. But as soon as we know more about that, of any type closing, we'll start posting that to get the word out. As we look to what is happening temperature-wise over the next 6 to 10 days, as we shift gears a little bit more to the time frame today. Look at this. Hot weather right on top of us. We're getting into the 80-degree weather as we look at the 7-day forecast. 74 today is going to be our high. 100% chance of thunderstorms tomorrow. There it is. High of 75 tomorrow. Low of 60 as we get into Thursday as the rain moves out. Steady at 70. Friday, 74. And look at the weather as we'll get ready for the loose caboose on Saturday. 82 and sunshine. Perfect weather for that, as well as Sunday. 82 as well. We'll even have great weather there leading into full moon on Friday night. Good weather. Hope you'll come out for that. Also, the grand opening of Parish. They're going to be having a big throwdown Friday there at their new building. We'll be there for that. Monday, we're back to 83. And as we go further into the month of April through the 23rd, we'll see that showers move back into the forecast somewhere around the 17th. And we'll kind of be steady with them all the way through the 23rd there. Anywhere from 20 to up to 45% there. So we'll get some rain out of that. And again, it always adjusts in between now and then. Anything more than 30 minutes out always changes, doesn't it? I say that jokingly, but a lot of truth to it. It's Mississippi, Alabama. That's what we do here. As we look at the best fishing times today, Chet tells us, grab that rod and reel and be there somewhere around 2 o'clock this afternoon. Get there around 1:30. Be prepared for great fishing from roughly 2 o'clock to 4 p.m. this afternoon. Now, the wind's going to be south 5 to 10 with a 30% chance of rain today. That is our forecast as we look at this, as we anticipate the storms getting into the area. Again, make your plans. Be prepared for what is coming tomorrow. We don't want anyone caught off guard. You be ready, know where you're going to go. Should an alarm go off, you'll have, usually, they're about 15 to 20 minutes notice before these things can slip up on us. It's getting better and better. but always be prepared to know where you're going. That's a quick look at what we have. We'll talk more about this coming up at the top of the hour with Odie, as we'll talk about on the emergency management side of what you need to do and how to handle all that, what they do in preparation to prepare you to make sure that you're safe. That's up and coming in a few moments as we get the morning show underway beginning at 7 at the Scotty Ray Report. Y'all join us.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.